Greetings from Japan. It's great to be in another country, sort of looking around and seeing what the feelings are and the vibe is over another part of the world. But the number one story is still the number one story over the recent months, and that's this genocide that is going on. And while there's more than one genocide going on, the most horrific genocide that we're seeing parading across our own screens and we're talking about every day is the genocide happening in Palestine. And it seems as if we've been on the street, we've been in the streets, we've been posting, we've been talking about this, we've been carrying on the actions, the action alerts, and all of that for several months, if not years. And it's become obvious that we're talking to a group, a class, a club, so to speak, as George Carlin said, that is behind a wall. And they're behind this wall doing what they have planned to do in carrying out their plans. And so while a lot of our news reports seem to indicate that this rogue nation over there in the middle of the Arab world is carrying out these heinous crimes, the rogue nation is actually the United States and the White House and the corporations and the billionaires and trillionaires that write the policy for the White House here. And the White House is usually inhabited, as many levels of government are inhabited, by various puppets who do the bidding of their bosses, so to speak. And so we're seeing this. We're seeing this because, as I mentioned before, our calls to stop the genocide seem to be falling on deaf ears. Not just on deaf ears, but on ears that are stoked to continue the genocide. And the learning experience has been for all of us. It's been for all of us. You know, we had a great learning experience in 2021. We saw governments mandate an experimental injection against our will and fire people from jobs. And that seemed to be a train that was coming, that no matter how much reasoning you explained or showed, no matter how much you showed that it was immoral, unethical, and wrong, that unethical train was still going to come. And we're looking back and we're hearing reports about how unethical it was that many of us knew would come out. But now we have a even more unethical situation happening here with the constant bombing of Palestine that's been going on for over 10 months, 11 months. And it seems to be that there's no political solution to that. There's no government solution. The politicians in the government are all in. They're all in a club. They're all involved in this. And the only solution is going to require the people organizing on a higher level, uniting on a higher level, uniting in a way that reaches beyond government, uniting in a way that reaches beyond politicians, uniting in a way that reaches beyond our institutions, because all of these entities, our government, our politicians, our media, our institutions, they're all bought. They're all bought. They're all puppets. Puppets there to enable genocide. So our work is to organize a human movement, a movement of humanity that reaches beyond all those structures. Of course, we collaborated and created those structures, but we're going to need to organize beyond those structures. We're going to need to create a new source of power for the people. And this is our work for the coming years or decades. This is our work. And we can't back down from that. As much as censorship is trying to tell us to back down, we have these social media sites which are constantly threatening us, constantly saying, well, you're going to get a strike. We're going to remove your content. We're going to remove your page. They were threatening us during the COVID era, which hasn't ended. It began in 2021, and they were removing our pages. And now they're threatening us during this genocide era, genocide of Palestine. And so we see what tremendous opportunity we have to organize in a human movement, a movement for humanity. We see that we have to do this. There's no choice, because the target that one has on their back, if you're born Palestinian in Palestine, is the target that we would all have on our backs, should we be on land considered precious enough by corporations to want to take that land. And of course, this world stage that they have exhibited in Palestine is to let us know that this is the new order of the day for corporations, that this is their way of doing things at this point. This is literally how it's done. If that land is of value to corporations, then any narrative can be run to allow for war crimes. And of course, if any narrative can be run to allow for war crimes, then of course the censorship is a necessity. And so the censorship that we see today is a necessity in order for these corporations to commit war crimes and to continue to commit war crimes. And that's what censorship is. Censorship is a tool that allows for criminal activity. It's necessary. It has to go hand in hand with immense criminal activity. And that's what we're seeing today. That's what we're dealing with. So we are on this path. You are on this path. We are on this path together to build a stronger unity, a stronger coalition, a stronger movement of humanity, one that reaches beyond. And that's the only way for us to be reaching beyond the reach of government, beyond the reach of institutions, beyond the reach of politicians. This is the true movement for this age, which is the age of Aquarius. One love.